Have you ever imagined what it would be like to live life with one leg? Welcome to the What's Eating You podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, and I'm a psychologist, published author, and public speaker here to educate and validate. Enjoy the show. Today, I have a very special guest on the show, a friend of mine who I met in Bali, Luke, and today is actually his bangversary, which means it was 13 years ago that this accident happened where he lost his leg, and he's coming on the show to speak about it today. Luke, thank you so much for being here today.
No problem, and it's great to be on your show, be on your podcast, and hopefully this can inspire some people in some sort of way, shape or form. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Look, to be honest, we met in Bali, and I just want to tell the people how we met. So if you're new to the show, my name is Steph. I'm a psychologist and I do a lot of trips to Bali. And on my last trip, I was in a cafe and I heard this lovely sounding man just speaking to the staff. And I was like, wow, this person sounds so nice. And I looked over and I noticed you had a prosthetic leg. And I was like, wow, I imagine what he's been through. I wonder what happened. And he's just so happy and seems so easygoing. And here we are. We just take so many little things for granted. But yeah, I was really curious to meet you. So then we got chatting and that's how we met, in a cafe, right?
That's right, yeah. Yeah, we just went, oh, you're in here yesterday. Is this your normal spot? And then we just got, chinwagon, didn't we? And we became good friends after that. Yeah.
And
that's good.
I'm so excited to speak to you because I think when someone does have a disability or they've lost a limb, it can be, I guess a lot of people don't know what to say. They don't know how to act. And you were telling me a little bit about this, but you seem very open with it. You make jokes about it, even saying my bangversary. I was like, whoa, I don't know if I can say that. Oh my gosh. Is there anything I shouldn't say? Is there anything that's really inappropriate? Because I want to make sure.
There's actually no rules in this podcast that.
Okay.
In your podcast, so you can say anything and everything. Yeah, my humour's obviously a good sense of humour, so I'm more than happy to have a laugh a bit as well.
All right.
If that's the case, yeah.
Thank you. Luke, would you mind just taking us back? So I'm mind blown that today is 13 years since your accident happened. So can you take us back 13 years ago to what happened and how this all came about?
Of course. Yeah, I haven't even mentioned it at the moment. I'm an ex-British soldier from the parachute regiment, which I'm not sure what your fan base is or your podcast views are, but it's an elite regiment in the British Army, airborne regiment, so it's very proud regiment to get into. But yeah, 13 years ago to the day, what a day. It was just like any other kind of day, but I actually remember waking up. We got up in the morning and I just felt a bit weird about this patrol on that day. I was just thought, I don't know if I had a eerie feeling, but we went out when we went into this compound. It was, we had the guys with us who did the mines, and we were just waiting my job at the time was a machine gunner, and my friend was a sniper, and we were waiting to go onto the top of the roof just to provide overwatch in case the Taliban kicked off. When you're in a static location, that's what kind of tends to happen. You know, you just get that kind of eerie feeling and you're just like, right, let's go on the roof so we can see more of the area. That's what I mean by the Overwatch scenario. And I was in a lane at the time, but we used to say safe lane but not secure. But not known to me, the guys who do the minesweep actually missed the IED, which is an acronym for improvised explosive device. Bomb, basically. They did. And I can't point fingers because the ground wasn't very good that day because it rained the night before, but we got told to go out, so that we must do. And then I was kneeling down just watching least-score murder holes just in case anyone ran past or just maybe for a grade over. That sounds a bit surreal, but that's the case. And then whilst I was waiting to go on top of the roof, I remember just waiting, and my left knee was down and I was in a kneeling position. My right leg was in there, but my left knee was on the floor. And then I remember just like my mate, at the time I smoked, my mate passed me a cigarette, and then I remember instantly like it was a massive thud, like a massive bang in the air. And I remember going up and seeing the top of the compound, which is a building. It's like a mud hut building, which was I remember seeing top of it, which must have been about 12 foot. And I remember thinking instantly, I've been blown up. Like my spidey senses were tingling. And they say it does in scenarios, and it certainly does. Time slows down. So I remember seeing the top of the roof, and then next thing I knew, I was on the floor on my right hand side. Not knowing my injuries at the time, it was very dusty, and I was shouting to the guys because I was more concerned if the guys are right, because I could hear screaming in different areas of the compound in the area. I immediately went through what you called it, the action drill. So I'm making sure it was okay. So I took my gloves off. I checked for any internal bleeding. And then the first thing I definitely checked. And I looked down and I saw that I still had my man bar.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, I remember thinking, fuck my legs. I don't care what's ever happened. I've still got that.
Really?
And then I went through all my drill. I was through my body. I was on my right hand side. I no injuries at the time. And I thought, okay, and I was shouting across in the area, like making sure, luckily, not new to me at the time, but everyone was okay. So I took most of the blast. And then once the dust settled a little bit, I looked down and I saw that my leg was completely off. And there wasn't much blood because the bomb actually severed the leg off. So it's like more of a burn, so it stopped the bleeding a bit. I remember just smelling that, like, it was like a really burning, like, fleshy kind of smell. I remember thinking, right, and then that's when I immediately went by, I shouted for medic. And then they were like, no worries, Luke, we're going to get to you. And so I just didn't move, because at this point, I don't know if I broke back, I don't know if I was done anything or like serious. So I thought, I'll stay in this position here. And the medic eventually came over. But what they have to do beforehand, just stepping back, is they have to look for secondary IDs, because what the Taliban used to do, if they'd lay one ID, they'd lay another one, which could be like, they used to call it like a chain ID.
Yeah.
Immediately, like if your friend's kind of injured, your immediate thoughts, I need to help him. So you go run in, get. But you have to take your time. So the guy's coming to me, the medic comes to me, and he was on one knee and he was sweating and he was looking at me and he's, I'm going to get you through this. And I just looked at him and I was like, mate, just get a grip of yourself, calm down, don't worry, because he was at a minute. I'm the one with the leg up. I was like, mate, chill. And he's like, do you want this morphine? What they did with the morphine, it was like immediate effect. Like they stick it in your sternum, is in the middle of your breastplate.
Yeah.
And yeah, he initiated that, and then I was a little bit like just mellow and down because it helped the pain a little bit, but I did not feel any pain at this point.
That was my question. If you could feel any pain in that moment, or is it just all adrenaline going through you?
Yeah, I think it's the adrenaline totally. Adrenaline was just pulsing through you. I was just so calm and realising what I've been through. I was just like, this is okay, I've been blown up. A lot of soldiers can do that. They can compartmentalize stuff.
Yeah.
This is how I need to move on to this, which in that case was my injury and how I'm going to get out. Once that my friends managed to get around me, they put me on a stretcher and they sent me to a safe location, which was only at that point about 100 meters away. That's the guy, you don't realise how much you are in the thick of it, but you're in enemy territory. You are living with them in a sense. It's that sort of close. Mm-hmm. They got me to the safe location, and the guys kept coming over, making sure I was okay. And I just got them to keep talking to me, because eventually I could start to feel a bit of pain. And I was like, just keep talking. The guys kept coming over, swapping, making sure I was okay. Mm-hmm. Proud of you, like you're a trooper, you're getting through this, and you're just taking it like a man. And then they call it the golden hour at that point as well.
The golden hour?
Yeah, once you get injured, you can obviously self-treat. You can self-treat yourself, and the guys can even trauma. They can patch it up and whatnot. But after that, it needs to be taken further. You need to be taken to hospital.
Yeah.
It was so rapid. The helicopter came in. We've been about 40 minutes for my initial blast. As soon as I was injured, it was called through on the radio. They were running into the helicopter, which we called EMAD. So it's like an emergency medical response team. it's like a mini hospital on a helicopter. Which basically we cordoned off, so the guys secured the area, the landing area, because again it kicks off when you're static and the helicopter's coming in, it can kick off. But usually nothing happened at that point.
Yeah.
They got me on, and the guy, the doctor, I was like, "You okay? We're going to put you to sleep now." I was like, thumbs up. I was like, "Mate, I'm good to go." And then, that's what initially happened from that point.
Wow.
Then I got sedated, and then I woke up 5 days later, actually back in the UK. Yeah.
Wow.
I woke up, and there was a little nurse. I always remember us sitting at the end of my bed, and she was like, I don't know if you've got any English listeners. This is like a Brummie girl, so she had a Birmingham accent. So she kind of, "You got a mate? How you doing? Do you know what happened to you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got blown up in Afghanistan. I'll move fine. I know what's happened to me." And I remember being that skinny and weak. They wanted to give me a shave, and I was like, "No, I'll shave myself," because I had fragmentation in my hands.
Yeah.
My hands were covered as well. So it's bits of kind of metal and everything from the bomb blast. But no injuries to the hands, luckily.
Wow.
And it took me 2 hours just to shave myself. But the funny thing is that I had like a little porn stash, not known to me when I was in Bastion, right? When I was in Bastion, my friends actually shaved a little porn stash on me.
Oh my gosh.
And I woke up and I was like, why have I got a porn stash on?
What had happened?
I found out in a logbook, but the guys write in and they're like, "Look, we've just gave you a little porn touch and for a bit of morale. We wanted to do other stuff, but the nurses caught us, so we had to run out." I was like, "Okay."
Oh my gosh, that would have been so funny to see that.
Yeah, that's when it happened from that point.
Yeah, my gosh.
The family came in, and the girlfriend at the time came in, and they're obviously like, were worried as if I was actually okay, but that was cool. I was just happy to be there with my family, being they joked, like, "Oh, you all right?" And I was like, "Dad, I'm gonna have one of these with her legs now," and they instantly knew it was gonna be okay because he's joking about it already.
Yeah, you were known as the Joker.
Yeah, morale booster.
Morale booster. Look, sometimes humor is a trauma response. Many people use humor or try to cover things up, but it sounds like you were funny or had this sense of humor before the accident. Do you ever use humor to deal with it, or is it who you are and it's always been?
I would say that's exactly that. It's who I am, and it's always a lot of the guys in the military. You can imagine you're just in the worst place. You're wet, you're tired, you're hungry. You can still laugh about it.
And
Like a mountain house on your back. You just see the best in everything. For me, I think if I meet people, they never know how to respond to me. So at the start, like the military, you just joke about it, and the guys are laughing, and that's just the way it is. But when you come onto Civvy Street, we call it, you have to be careful because people don't know how to go respond to you. They don't know if you're dealing with it okay. So when I tell people I don't suffer PTSD, because it's always in the back of people's mind.
really?
I think they meet me, and as soon as I say I'm an ex-soldier, they're like, I wonder if this guy's kind of like mentally okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things out there, and some of my friends, unfortunately, they do suffer with PTSD, and they do have that trauma. But going back to your question, yeah, I'd say it's just who I am. I'm just very happy to be there.
Yeah.
It's like a scratch, believe it or not, it's like a scratch wound compared to a lot of the guys' injuries. So it's what I like to moan about. So what's the word? Yeah.
It's incredible you've got this perspective, and I'm so grateful I've got my man bits, and just your outlook on life on it is really inspiring. I want to know more about the practical day-to-day stuff. Are there any sort of aspects of daily life that you found surprisingly easy or challenging after the change?
So when it initially happened, I remember being that. I was so skinny. I was like a little child because it takes so much energy out of you. I remember having when I was at home for 3-4 weeks before I went into my rehabilitation. And I remember being that weak. Like the guy, like his ERI, exercise referral instructor, he took me out of the wheelchair to get back in. And it took me about 5 minutes to get back into that wheelchair and get back up because I just had no strength. So I kind of like that. You're like learning to walk again, and your strength, you have to build your strength back up. And from there, it was just like a day-to-day thing. So I'm going to walk next, I'm on my crutches, and it's got one crutch, and I've got these like old man walking sticks, and it's got one walking stick, and I've got no walking sticks. Now I'm just going to have to learn how to walk. But yeah, it was a massive change, completely. I think it takes quite a while for your body and for yourself to get used to it.
Yeah.
I'd say like a good anywhere between 2 to 4 years for most amputees.
Yeah.
For them to get fully, like, because your stump's massive at the time and it shrinks, and then you have to have new legs, your legs don't fit, and you have to then go back. You might be in your wheelchair, you might be in crutches, in the process.
My gosh.
Luckily for me, it wasn't that long. It was like, I think 3 months before I was walking again, and then back at it. And within a year, they discharged me about 8 appointments because they're like, we like doing everything you need to do, so you might as well just come here and just for leg appointments. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And then I could just get on with looking at my career at a time and all that sort of stuff. So it's a massive change.
Yeah.
But you do adapt and you do get used to it, and it becomes normality at the end.
Did you ever go through a grieving process or a depression or phases of grieving the old leg or grieving your past or what you were able to do? Or
honestly, I didn't. The only work thing for me I was a bit gutted about is because I was due to do what they call selections. I was due to do special forces selection because it's like the next kind of step for us guys. The elite regiment in the British Army now is getting to. And most of the guys are like, no, it's, and then it's most of the SAS is ex-paratroopers. So that's what I would have loved to try out, just to challenge myself. I've always been happy with that. But with the grieving process, not at all. And it's weird to say, or probably to hear, but I think I had one. I remember there was one time I was still in my wheelchair, and I snapped for about 1 minute, and my mum's there, and I'm like, oh, I'm like an 8-year-old man, I'm 23, it's a fucking joke. And then it's literally, within that minute, I was fine. I went on crutches for a while, I got a bit annoyed through my crutch, and then, again, within a minute, I was fine. Because I actually asked my parents this. I said, do I sink down, or is there a time where I've taken out on you guys? And they're like, no. And they just mentioned them times. And
that was it.
That's literally it. And it's hard for people to hear that because
it is.
I've told some people, people are like, so you've never been there. Because most people have a kind of, they're in a high, they're in the army, you're running uphill. This is great. Life's great. Oh, no, I'm injured now. They go into a spiral, then they go downhill. But for me, it was just like I accepted it immediately. It's just no.
You accepted it.
Very content with it, and just.
Yeah.
I actually don't really think about it until I talk about it. I've been through quite a lot.
Yeah. No, you have. And isn't that interesting? I accepted it. And I think acceptance is such a big part of healing or of minimizing the impact that something has on you, because it is what it is. What am I going to do? And I think when you said that there hasn't been heaps of changes, because when I was speaking to you, to be honest, you're like, yeah, I'm just going to jump on my scooter, or I'm going to go do the fitness class. And in my head, I'm like, wait, can you ride a scooter with one leg? Can you do a fitness class with one leg? I don't know if I'm naive. I don't know what I was thinking, but is there anything you can't do, like legally or non-legally, or anything that you can't do?
No. It's actually, obviously, I was an absolute machine when I was in the army. Like, I could put a house on my back and run miles. I can't do that anymore. That's just, I can still climb, go hiking, and I would say I can do most things. But obviously, the only limitations I have if I have maybe a little rub on my leg or stuff like that. But like, I'm so used to it now. I can self-admin myself, and if I get an infection, I'll put my antibiotics, or I get a bit of rub on to self kind of care for myself. So I would say there's limitations in probably on maybe the endurance factor. So if I went out for a run or something like that, like obviously I get more of an impact. That's slowed me down a little bit, but then it hasn't, because I'm probably still like a lot more fitter than most able-bodied people. I'm still being. People are like, and I'm like coming first all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
I climbed the Buddha the other day here in Phuket, and I was just like running up the hill, and there's people like looking at me like,
Yes. Yes, you are so fit, and and that's it. People who have two legs make excuses. Luke has one leg, and he's running up the big Buddha. So, yeah, I love the big Buddha.
I think it's just the mindset. It's just, I'm here, I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah,
Good way to be, to have that kind of growth mindset here.
yeah, 100%. Oh my gosh, what about like socially or relationship wise? Has it ever come up, or any challenges there, like with relationships or intimacy? I know what we're all thinking. Does it impact your sex life at all?
Not at all. Like, I've had these questions as well. Girls came to me, Luke, can I ask you a question? What you do in the bedroom? I said, look, girls, I'm like, if I'm in the bed, the leg's off. And then if I'm out of the bed, the leg is on.
Depends on what we're doing.
Yeah, it depends on where we're going, what's up. But with regards to relationships, no girl has ever been with has ever been really bothered about it.
Yeah.
I've seen it be more proud about it of who I am, and it's just even said to me, I just find that they're more interested, and they just, relationship wise, it's never impacted it.
Yeah, okay.
It's never really bothered girls I've been with.
No.
I'm sure there's people out there who'd probably be like, oh, I don't know, but it's what it is, right? People know people, even if they haven't got a disability, it's just the way of the world.
Yeah, and exactly right. It's so weird how we all have the same thoughts. Or just we're thinking the same thing. All right, I've got another question. So what is the strangest thing that has ever happened? Or have you ever had like a strange encounter, or someone said something that was really strange? Or
yeah, I think when I was traveling away, I remember this. I was with an ex-Royal Marine, actually. We're out I remember Koh, and then this guy comes up, and he's a bit drunk. He's calling me a cripple and that, and I'm like,
how rude.
I'm very rude, and I think it's that kind of, they just do that out there, maybe in America. I was like, and the thing is, I said, look, mate, I said, I might have one leg, but I said, just be careful what you say, because I can knock you the fuck out.
Yeah.
Where's your mates? And I was like, but I can quite good at playing stuff off anyway, rather than just having trouble. I'd rather just be like, look, mate, just don't worry about it. See you later, let's enjoy a night and forget about it. I think that's the kind of, but especially imagine out in these countries stuff. Every time I travel around Asia, they're more like intrigued by it. They're kind of like, they've never seen it before in their life, so they just come up and it ask questions, or they'll be staring, and I'll just be like, yeah, right, guys, and then the one of them runs over and it's, oh, like, how'd you lose your leg? And
yeah.
People are just more intrigued by it.
Yes.
I don't really notice people like looking at me, but say if we were walking down the street, you would notice people kind of like looking down at my leg and stuff like that. I just kind of don't really notice it anymore. I see people doing it, but I just don't take.
Yeah. You're just, exactly, it does. And you're just doing your own thing, and you're just so confident in who you are as a person. And do you know what? It probably makes people feel safe and comfortable to ask you about it, because you are very approachable and friendly and just happy to have a chat.
Yeah, I'm sitting there just smiling, and the people are just like,
yeah,
I just want to talk to this guy.
Yes. That's what I was thinking too. What's the story? What's going on? No, that's so interesting. Is there anything that helped you along your journey? Like any, I don't know, like role models or books, or a type of mindset or a thought or a belief that has helped you even throughout your life with everything you've done?
I think my biggest like kind of role model and like support part is my family, like my dad. I think, you know what, I honestly think if I didn't have that support, maybe I was very lucky to have it. They were there, they've been there, they've always been able to help me. Like, my family were all very close, but all very independent at the same time. Their own ways about us. I think it'd be my family more than anything.
Yeah.
With role model support and helping me out and on the journey, like through my life, really. Well, they're always there.
That's amazing.
Friends and close things as well.
Yeah, so important. So important to have that support. And I remember you saying you did a lot, or did you do a lot of therapy? You were telling me about EMDR, because I was really curious to know, why is it that some soldiers continue to have PTSD for the rest of their lives? You get like the veterans and the people who are just really damaged for life, and then there's someone like you who seems fine. Did you do therapy or do any trauma work, or what's your take on that?
No, I think it's very important what they do. They do therapy. They do what they call what's it called? I think it's called a triage. So the guys come in, like, initially when you're in hospital from the start point, and they're like, look, like, we're here to make sure you're not arcing at the root, basically. Everything's all right, okay? So they set out a certain amount of questions. They read you in yourself as well, body language and whatnot. And for me, like, when they first come up, they're like, just looked at me and they're like, you just really don't care, do you? And I'm like, no, like, I'm pretty happy. I'm here. And they're like, you scored a 2 out of 20. I said, okay, cool. It's like, you need to, like, very good. If you were 20 or close to it, you need to be in a white jacket and you need to be in a mental asylum, basically.
Wow.
It's just very accepted with it. And then they do it initially 3 months, 6 months, a year, 18 months, another year when you discharge. And then again, they just said the same thing. That's like, you're fine, you're happy now. Pretty much. And then help is there as well. Like, we have a veteran community. Like, if I wanted to reach out, I'm like, you know what? I'm in shit state here. I need help.
Mm-hmm.
Like, talk to. It is there. But I've been very lucky. I've never needed it.
Yeah, my God.
If I did need it, I would 100% reach out. I'm very, like, I know my thoughts and I know how I'm behaving. I'm human, right? We all have bad days and good days and whatnot. But as long as I can deal with it, then it's fine.
Yeah.
If I was really bad, 100% I would reach out and I would not neglect.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you're open about seeking mental health, because I think I can imagine, especially as a male or being in the army and being a soldier, there's that whole, even when you said, yeah, take it like a man, like just that kind of, I don't know, is there some people who are reluctant to get mental health or, yeah, in the military?
I think it's got a lot better. When I was in, I look back and I actually look back at some of my friends and colleagues and I think, but at the time, you're a young guy, you eat, sleep, work with these guys, you go out and all this out, so you look a massive fan. But I look back at some of the guys and I think he was, looking back on it, I think he needed help. I think it's a lot more accessible now with mental health in the military.
Yeah.
It's got a lot better. When I was in, you could snap your shoulder and you can carry your massive machine gun and then if you'd be sick for a month or a little bit later, you could both start talking and they'd just always, mate, he's being weak. He's being weak, is it? It's a very male environment, testosterone environment, but it's a lot better now. I think if the guys are struggling, and I know they have actually, a lot of friends have actually reached out and got that help that they needed.
Mm-hmm. Good.
It could be a discharge from a lot of them. So I think some people are very careful what they say and do, but
yeah,
you can tell by people, if they're not mentally okay, you can't hide anywhere, because if you live with someone, then you can things about them that they're not okay or...
Yeah, I hear you. My gosh, Luke, like, you just have such a positive outlook on life, and I think many people will be listening to this thinking, wow, maybe I should have that outlook on life. Is there anything before we wrap up that you wish people knew about mental health, or anything you want to share about difficult times, or if someone's going through a difficult time, any words of wisdom?
Yeah, sure. I think mental health is if you're struggling mentally, especially if you're male as well, because like you mentioned, a lot of males don't want to reach out. It's still quite new. A lot of guys are reaching out now. They are going, look, actually, I'm struggling emotionally, like for a breakup, or it'd be some other circumstances as well. I think words are kind of wisdom-wise, it's just like, time goes so fast, right? Time goes so fast, and life is very short. And I think we tend to, as human beings, care what people think. We care, but at the end of the day, it's just, I think a lot of people need to be happy with themselves. Stop trying to make everyone else happy around them. Be happy with yourself.
Yes.
And naturally be happy, because it's just life.
It's so short.
Instant regret with things. So just live your life, be happy. And if you want to go skydiving, or if you want to climb that mountain, set yourself challenges. It makes you feel better. Don't be stagnant.
Yes.
Because I think when you're a kid, you do these little things and it's, you've got like an A, whatever grade you have. Yeah, and accomplished. When you get older and you have a job, depending on what job you do, you can be very stagnant in that job. It's not like once you're promoted, like, oh, great, but then there might not be any room for any growth. But I think growth mindset is an important thing. It's all what weakness is. So I think just go out there and do whatever you can to set yourself challenges. Yeah, it makes you feel good.
I agree. I think that is so true. It's about challenging yourself, taking pride in how far you've come, and just radiate the type of energy that you want to attract and you want to be. Because, life is short and people worry about their body now or their skin or something. And I'm thinking, wait till you're 80 and you can't even do these things. Oh, no, this has been such a breath of fresh air. Luke, if people want to check you out, where can they find you? Are you on social media, and what's your handle?
I am, ironically, no pun intended, my Instagram is One Leg Luke with Uno, the letter one.
Yep.
One story. And then so you can check me out there. I post funny stuff. I've got a few pictures up there, but you can check me out there if you wish. If you need a laugh, like some of my stories will help you out and probably think this guy's quite just has a laugh with everything.
Yeah.
You want to set me out? No worries. Wish you too.
No, I was looking, when I went on your Instagram, I saw you had a bit of a sexy photo shoot with your one leg. I love those photos. How different.
It's cool because so how I come across that was is a famous American photographer actually, and right, I was dating this girl and she tagged me on Facebook. She's like, "Why don't you do this?" I tagged my friend and I was like, "Mate, we should so do this." And he goes, "Do you want in? I'm actually doing it with this guy." And I was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right." And then I got in touch with the photographer, and it was to demonstrate. He did American soldiers and UK soldiers. And it was to demonstrate like strength beyond injury. So it's a very good, experience.
So
one experience. She went into a book. It got published internationally.
Wow.
Coffee group, yeah, it was good fun actually.
I love that, because I think photo shoots are just, you always see the same thing or people have, but to actually see a shoot like that, yeah, it's so awesome. I encourage everyone to go see it. We'll link your Instagram in the show notes. But Luke, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. I know you're in Thailand right now. I'm in Bali, so I'm praying that this audio works. If you've listened to this episode, please let us know. Take a screenshot, tag us both on Instagram. Let us know if you enjoyed the episode. But yeah, thank you so much for making the time. I'm so grateful and I'm so glad we met. And hopefully, I don't know if you'll be in Thailand in May, but I will be heading down there and maybe we can catch up.
Yeah, definitely. Like wherever we are, and I'm sure we'll catch up if we don't in May. I know you're in Bali. I'm in Bali sometimes anyway. I'm sure our paths will cross again.
Yes.
And it's been a pleasure to be on your podcast as well. And I hope I hope everyone's enjoyed.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. Don't forget to rate, leave a review, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I am truly grateful for you being here. If you got something out of today's show, please take a moment to leave a rating or review. To access more resources or support, check out the show notes below. See you next time.